Hey folks, it's Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request. This time for Gia. I know it's a different, not location, but different setup. But I was playing a game, funny enough, Resident Evil 4 the remake, and I wanted to get some requests done because I hate having people wait for requests. My own deficiency of my brain. And ironically enough, it deals with Resident Evil. But in this case, Gia wanted me to do another comparison. Dog Soldiers versus Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. And you can tell that I'm very, very much enjoy Dog Soldiers a lot more than Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon Titties. Because you look at Dog Soldiers, you look at a film that had I would guarantee a much lower budget. A guy, Neil Marshall, who's somewhat new, kind of like the guy who did Welcome to Raccoon City. Because I know that guy had done The Strangers Pray at Night. Neil Marshall had not done too much. I mean, might be one of his first. This is before he did The Descent. This is before he did Doomsday or Hellboy, which even he admits he hated that new Hellboy because he got screwed around with. Dog Soldiers, number one, has much more likable characters, being the team, the way the characters interact with each other. The lead, I think you did a better job showcasing who the lead is and their story, as slim as it may be. Hey, he's training for this commando unit. The commando unit, if my stomach would shut up, I guess my stomach is even upset at this scene, especially if you're a dog lover, where the guy wants our lead to shoot this dog. He's like, yeah, I'll shoot a dog if I have to, but I'm not going to shoot that dog. That dog's innocent. This is just a training session. Then the guy shoots the dog, and our lead gets pissed and like sucker punches him. Like if that was Leon Kennedy at Welcome to Raccoon City, where he's a rookie and he sees this stuff and he's punching the guy, but yeah, badass. And our lead gets kicked out. He's with this other unit, and I'm bad with names. I want to say is it Sean Pertwee, I believe is the commanding officer of that new unit. They have a nice rapport with each other, back and forth with each other. They feel comfortable with each other. But you can tell who the lead is. Here in Welcome to Raccoon City, that's not the case. I mean, I guess you could say Claire Redfield, that character's the lead, but then it's like, oh, here's Triss. Oh, here's Triss and Jill. Here's Triss and Jill's story at this place. Oh, here's Leon Kennedy. Oh, Leon Kennedy is a goofball who shot his partner in the ass or something, and he keeps saying, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I got this job. I don't know how. Claire Redfield, they try to force a backstory, but it's nothing emotional. It's more of, if you know anything about the games, like, wait, okay, they're orphans, her and her brother, Chris Redfield. But then here's this girl who's disfigured, is able to just wander around this fucking orphanage, and no one seems to have any fucking bother of it. And then this girl remembers Claire Redfield after how many decades, and is going to help her, and then we never see her again because apparently there was cut content that she was going to be at the end and try to fight the bad guy, and she did stuff. No, she just disappeared. It is a poorly written or rewritten script. Dog Soldiers to me is a pretty tight script, as simple but very effective as it is. Here's a unit, they get hunted down, they are make a run for it, they find this lady who gives them a ride to this place in the middle of nowhere, they barricade themselves, and you have a little bit of an assault on Precinct 13, where the werewolves come out of the woodwork and they fight back, and the numbers are dwindling. There's another guy who's the same bad guy that shot the dog earlier in the film, so you have a bit of that tension. So you have kind of a bad guy within the mist, you have this girl who you find out later maybe not the best to trust, and you have these other characters that are dependent on each other and trying to survive the night and figure out what to do next. And you have this nice tension, because this claustrophobic feeling. It's on Precinct 13, or Aliens did that as well. I mean, Aliens, you had Burke, who was like the bad guy within them, and Ripley didn't know if she should trust Bishop. Ultimately, she realized she could, but she had Understandably, ill intentions DNA androids because of Ash in the first Alien film. And Dog Soldiers follow that formula, which is a good formula to follow. That's why, what was the review? Aliens, Predator, I don't know why they said Jaws, but it's Aliens and Predator with a werewolf twist. Simple, but very effective. Welcome to Raccoon City, I don't know what the hell they were doing. Other than being shitty. There was no scare, there was no tension. Hell, I would say Dog Soldier is more bloodier than fucking Welcome to Raccoon City. Welcome to Raccoon City has a whole city of zombies. And my stomach is fucking rumbling remembering Welcome to Raccoon City because I had to sit it here and watch my eyes suffer going through it, and my stomach is having hunger pains, grumbling under its breath, going, "Why do you make me see this shitty movie?" Yeah. There's a little bit of dream there. Shut up. But I mean, what was the plot of Welcome to Raccoon City? Oh, it's about Claire in an orphanage. And then, okay, well, it's to set up this girl that we see much, much later on. That's just to give some silent exposition in a way of, take this, go here, without saying a word. And then you never see her again. So I guess she died. We didn't go back to save her, even though she saved us. Great heroes. Oh, here's this guy, Wester, who now is working to find this thing where you're thinking, well, why are they just sending you? Why don't they just send a unit? What if you had died in the helicopter when the helicopter crashed? They'd be fucked on their research. It was that important when they send more, when they send people who actually, gotta be at least one or two that know a bit more about that mansion than just you, Wester. That seems like you haven't really been there much. And that's the other thing. Dog Soldiers feels like one movie. Because it's just one movie. Welcome to Raccoon City was 2 video games put together. So it feels like it's trying to be a Resident Evil 1 movie, as in based on the first game, with Jill and Chris in a mansion. And that is blasé and boring and not that well implemented. And then we almost forget about Claire Redfield and Leon Kennedy, but then we're back to the police station. And it keeps going back and forth, back and forth. So it doesn't have a flow. It barely has a structure to it. The structure of Welcome to Raccoon City is fucked. It's shit. The structure is shit. There's no structure. While Dog Soldiers, there is no spoon. Like, that one side note joke was funnier than anything in Welcome Raccoon City with shooting darts at Leon's head, or whatever the hell. I'm trying to remember what the hell. Yeah, like ragging on him, or listen to Journey while Chief Iron's getting shot at. Did you gotta play some Journey? I like Journey, but not in this scene. Special effects wise, the werewolves were done practically. I think they look pretty good for its low budget. They look tall and menacing. Here, the zombies are there, and they don't seem that. Doesn't seem that much of a bloody zombie movie compared to other zombie films. And the creatures look like shit. Especially the dogs. I mean, the dogs look worse than in the first Resident Evil movie by Paul Wild Stallions Anderson. Or the big creature at the end looks like garbage, CGI garbage. Might as well be Putin Dayglow on the screen. So characters, much more interesting, much more vital. There's more of a flow to the story. There's more of a flow of a structure. You feel a bit more of tension because you feel a bit more claustrophobic in the setting. While the police station, you barely get a look at the police station except the lobby. A lobby, a little jail cell, and like a little hallway, the garage. But it seems like the police station is a lot smaller than it is. Plus, Dog Soldiers has the benefit of being its own original property, so there's no comparison unless you compare it to other werewolf films. But Resident Evil, there was Resident Evil 1 original, Resident Evil 1 the remake of the video game, Resident Evil 2 original, Resident Evil 2 remake of that video game. So that's literally 4 options you can look at and go, well, follow this and follow that, and it's like, well, we're gonna put some Easter eggs in there, but it doesn't mean anything. Because what do you get out of it as a fan other than seeing stuff that you just see in the game? What excitement or what fun factor or what scare factor or what intensity factor? Any fucking factor. The fear factor, whatever the fucking factor. Call Joe Rogan for the fear factor. Just ain't Welcome to Raccoon City. It ain't in there. Doll soldiers there is. And then more so. And then some. And so forth. And so forth. So yeah, Doll Soldiers is a damn good action horror film. Soldiers shooting the shit out of werewolves. There's a point where one, trying to fuck up or stab one with a sword. And I guarantee it was done on a much lower budget than Welcome to Raccoon City. Raccoon, that Resident Evil movie had a lot of potential, and it failed on pretty much every level. It made Leon Kennedy a goof who barely did anything, except he shot a zombie 18 times. He was too stupid enough to shoot in the head. He shot a rocket launcher that would have blown everybody else, considering he was like 3 feet away from everybody. Other than that, he was a goofball, getting made fun of, being a loser or being an idiot or being a stupid comic relief. Jill, acting was not in that actress's vocabulary. The guy who played Chris Redfield was fine. The lady who played Chris Redfield, I guess, was fine, but didn't have much material to work with. Chief Irons, I don't know how you take the character in the game and you turn him into the whatever the hell they turn him in the movie. I have no idea why. It tried to do too much and it failed on all levels. And you do talk about how there were rewrites and all this and that. That ain't my problem, to be perfectly honest. That ain't my fault and my problem. What you went through. I can only look at the final product. Unless you have some alternate cut in your back pocket, I can't. Not going to give you a pass, because every film is hard to make. Every film has troubles. Every film has obstacles. Every film has bullshit that happens upon it. Whether it be money getting cut, or bad distribution, or cast changes, or an injury that went wrong. Happens to tons of movies. But some are able to manage what they got and make an effective film. You think Doll Soldiers was an easy film to make? I guarantee it wasn't. But Neil Marshall did a bang-up job. An effective job. That's why, to me, it's still my favorite werewolf film. Kick-ass action movie with werewolves and much tighter pacing compared to Welcome to Raccoon City. I mean, what did Raccoon City, what you did? You did liquor that the heroes don't even fight. They shoot a little bit, but the crazy, I forget her damn name, breaks his neck like she's Steven Seagal. 2 or so dogs that look pretty crappy in CGI. A couple zombies. Birkin, that's the bad guy, Birkin. Looked like a CGI puke fest at the end. Lackluster in plotting, lackluster in story. The story just go over here, then we cut to here, there's this time, there's this time. There's no focus. Just like this review, there's no focus. Doll Soldiers had focus, had intensity. It built up to the numbers are dwindling, and the werewolves are coming in, and they're literally getting less and less space to the point that literally our lead character and Sean Pertwee are in this like closet, and they gotta shoot the floor and go down and mind your toes. It's literally closing in on them. And they have less and less places to go. They think this is a way to get out. It doesn't happen. They think this is a way to kill them. They realize they've been fucked over. Even the beginning with the lead dealing with the bad guy who shot the dog, even that has a resolution at the very end. But lo and behold, the guy and another dog. Just like Leon with the dog in Resident Evil 4. This guy and the dog able to take on this werewolf, which is the guy from the beginning. able to pay that off. What really gets paid off Welcome to Raccoon City? Again, the go shh here. And then who is she? Where did she come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Why is she wandering around? Why was she left here? Why did she stay here? None of that's answered or thought of or give a fuck us. Give a fuckitis, might as well. So, again, this is shit they put in. Does you remember this? You remember this? You remember these shiny teas? Dog Soldiers is a movie. What Raccoon City was a wannabe Easter egg hunt. The only hunt I want is a bug hunt. It's called Aliens. Or Hunt for Sport like Predator. Dog Soldiers is a damn good movie. What Raccoon City is a very shitty movie. So that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.